Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Rebelwatch. I'm your host, Campbell Holmes. Alongside me, as always, is sports reporter SAWYER, TAYE, Coleman, and Walker Farmer. Thank you so much for joining us this week. This week is a very important week for Ole Miss and the rest of college basketball. It is March Madness. The start of March Madness is this week. We are excited. Ole Miss finally in the tournament. Let's go. We had Selection Sunday. We see that we are playing either SDSU, UNC. Obviously, we know we are playing UNC Friday. How are we feeling first off about that? And then we'll move on and talk about the SEC tournament and how that can help us in this seeding. How are y'all feeling?
Yeah, I would just say first off, obviously I'm nervous just because, it's March Madness. Ole Miss hasn't been there in a while, 6 years. And last time we were in March Madness, we were an 8th seed, played Oklahoma, and got beat by around 20-something points, played terrible. And North Carolina has just been playing really good recently. They beat San Diego State by 27 points the other night. But I don't know. I just really feel like this is a team that shouldn't even have made the tournament. Only went 1-12 against quad 1 teams, which is usually the caliber of teams you are playing in the NCAA tournament. Ole Miss finished 8th in the best conference in history with 14 teams getting into the NCAA tournament for the SEC. So that's just awesome. I'm glad the committee awarded the SEC for doing that. But I honestly am feeling confident. Like I said, I'm a little nervous, but I'm feeling confident just because I feel like we are a lot better team. I feel like everyone's doubting us now. They're buying into the hype that UNC has right now, and I'm ready for Ole Miss to prove the doubters wrong. Yeah,
buying into the hype, and also UNC is just such a classic March Madness team. Like, you think of, North Carolina Tar Heels, you're thinking of March Madness, at least I am.
Yeah.
And so I'm thinking of the history of them in March Madness. I'm thinking about them, and I'm thinking also, like you said, about the most recent games they've had. I mean, when they get their defense going, they're kind of unstoppable. But I do think the Rebels have a chance if they get the offensive rebounds going well, which they need to be. They have been struggling with that. I think so. And I also think a key player, which we've all talked about, is Sean Padula hitting threes. He has to be. Obviously, we saw in the Arkansas game, which we'll talk about in a minute, 0-6 from 3, and then all of a sudden makes the game winner. Thank goodness. But we obviously struggled with a team that we shouldn't have struggled with, and I think it was because he was also just not on his A game.
Yeah, I agree. And kind of going back to what you said about UNC's defense, like, they just play super physical, super tough defense, and they have that amazing 2-3 zone. They flood the paint with big defenders, and we got to count on making three-point looks. We have to count on making a three-point shot, but I think the emphasis going into this game needs to be getting interior baskets, getting to the foul line, because you want to wear this team down as much as you can, right? It could be a disadvantage, but it's also an advantage that they play the game. So wear them down, continue to go at the body, use the shoulders, and force looks and force fouls. And then maybe we get a three-point shot going. But when we played Auburn in the SEC tournament, we couldn't hit three-point shots. And if we can't hit three-point shots against a team playing a tremendous 2-3 zone, we're going to find ourselves in a hole very quickly if they're making baskets on the under end of the court. So three-point shots is my biggest emphasis, but getting into the interior.
Yeah, I was just Campbell mentioned that UNC is a blue blood. They look at them, UNC is going to be good this year, but they're not the same team as they have been.
Exactly.
They're 4th in the ACC, which is not the best I've seen this year. Obviously, SEC, the best conference in college basketball, without a doubt. 14 teams in the tournament, and we are 6th out of there. So it's like, what does that really say? I feel like we've got better competition. We've played really well the last couple of weeks. Not necessarily best scores and like best wins, losses, turnouts like that. But I feel like we played great basketball, like Tay has mentioned, the last couple of weeks. But I feel like they have us winning, or they have us losing, and I'm not on board with that. I don't think that that's going to go for them. I think that this game is going to go our way.
I think so too. And going back to SEC tournament, I am happy with the way that we played. I'm happy with the way we started offensively in Arkansas. Let's first talk about the Arkansas game. We started off with a 9-0 lead, start the game. Malik Diaz, 7 of those points. His offense ability to be fierce and powerful and just, bully these guys is really helping me get hopeful for this game on Friday. I think he's a player that we need to have offensively be powerful. I think he needs to be dominant. And he was my player of the game for Arkansas. I think he kind of set the tone for the game. Obviously, Razorbacks came back later in the game for, obviously, Sean Padula to hit that game-winning 3. But I'm thinking we need him in this game on Friday.
Yes, we need him. And going back to that Arkansas game, Jalen Murray played tremendous. 17, 3, and 5. He was stealing the ball. He was the smallest guy on the court, but making a consistent effort to jump up, grab rebounds over bigger defenders. He wasn't scared of anything. And also, Devon Barnes, he played tremendous defense. And I know you may look at the box score and not think that, but experience definitely showed for him. And he's, a fourth-year senior. He's a guy who can play defense. He's 6'4". He played tremendous defense. I think him and Jalen Murray in that first half really helped us get this win. And Arkansas was fighting to make the tournament. So they were fighting for a lot here. So to be able to control the tone defensively, I think spoke volume and helped us get this win.
For sure.
I would say I agree. We got out-rebounded again. And I'm going to keep mentioning that. We play
Again.
again, it's been all season. We played Auburn. Guess what happened?
Again.
Got out-rebounded again. We didn't have a single player get double-digit boards. Broome had 15 by himself. And in order for us to win, not just this game, but any games moving forward in the tournament, we have to continue to rebound.
Well, going off of that, I mean, Auburn won that game because they held us to 57 points, which, you just can't win a game if a team is going to keep getting your rebounds that you should be getting. They're underneath the basket to get that for you. I think we really need to focus on the defense while we're still on offense.
Exactly.
If that makes sense.
Exactly. I'm with you because I think you do have to create looks from your defense. And look, I'm over the rebounding thing, quite frankly, at this point. I realize it's not a strength of this team.
Yep.
And so, honestly, if we play Auburn and we hit 4 more three-pointers, we probably beat them. The reason why we lost to Auburn is because we shot like 1 for 8 from 3. So I'm over the rebounding. I'm with Coach Beard in the sense of playing to your strengths. And it's some things we can control, some things we can't control. Rebounding is just one of them things we cannot control. So you have to have a defensive effort, and your offense has to be created from your defense, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I agree 100% with what you said, though. We just have to overcome, and that's what we've done most of the season. We're not a good rebounding team, but we found ways to win in spite of that. And that's another point going back to the North Carolina game. A lot of people think North Carolina has a good chance in that game because they're undersized. And they're like, oh, Ole Miss is also undersized, so we have a great chance in that game. I honestly think that helps us more because usually we struggle with rebounding. We're the better team, so if we're both similar in size, I feel like we have a great chance to win that game. And then going back to the SEC tournament, I was just pleased with how we played close in both games, especially the Arkansas game. I feel like that was a game we really needed to kind of have some momentum going into the tournament. We beat them in the regular season. We knew we should have beaten them then too. And just proud of how we played at the end. We were down 3. With about a minute left, Dre Davis and 1. Then on the other end of the court, a questionable call. I felt like maybe not necessarily a foul. Arkansas luckily missed both free throws, and then just Sean Padula coming up clutch. And then even against Auburn, just playing them as close as we did, I thought was impressive. Yeah, we didn't score that many points, but we also shot the ball terribly. So hopefully that improves. And another thing is we guarded the perimeter well, and that's been another struggle of this team is I feel like we allow other teams to make a lot of open threes because we don't guard it well.
Sure.
We did a great job of that, and we're going to have to do that against UNC also because they knocked down a ton of threes against San Diego State, and we just can't give players, for example, like RJ Davis looks like that because they will knock it down every single time.
For sure. We're excited for the game on Friday, but the men's basketball team is not the only team Ole Miss has in March Madness. We're going to be talking about the Ole Miss women's basketball team when we get back from the short break. We'll be back.
Where are we gonna go?
Someplace warm. A place where the beer flows like wine. Where beautiful women instinctively flock like the salmon of Capistrano. I'm talking about a little place called
Mississippi.
To see it is to believe it. You hear about it, but you just have to see the party.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Grove. The sound and fury are here. Getting out of toe down. pageantry, the pride, the pomp is unmatched and unrivaled. This stadium has come unhinged. This is what college football is all about. Oh, she gets walloped. No coach is having more fun than This is the place to be in college football right now.
Welcome back. Like I said, the Ole Miss women's basketball team is in the NCAA tournament for the women's division. We're excited, obviously. They've been there before. They know what they're doing. NewsWatch got to talk to Coach Yo when they were taking off this morning in the bus. She said, she's just excited that they're getting another chance at this. They're getting, with it being, another year of this, the fans are now getting excited. They're like, okay, well, we have another chance. And now we have another chance. So, and it's 50 years of women's basketball for Ole Miss. So this might be a special year for them. But one player I'm obviously looking at, of course, is Madison Scott for the tournament. I think she needs to dominate offensively, defensively. She's all over the court. What are y'all thinking?
I feel good about it. I really feel good about, these first 2 rounds for sure. The only thing is, historically, only 1 through 3 seeds in women's basketball win the national title. So I think it's going to be a tall task to try to win the natty, but I think we definitely got these first 2 games on lock. It's not until we probably run into UCLA where I think it's going to get dicey, but we did play very good against number 6 ranked LSU, so maybe that comes good. That comes to help us down the line and down the wire, but I'm feeling terrific about Ball State. I'm expecting, 15-point blowout. Dare I say?
Yeah, no.
Loving that.
I feel good about the first 2 rounds.
No, I agree. I had us blown by Ball State. Grand Canyon, I have them with the upset over Baylor.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I know. Antelopes. Hey,
That's a 4 seed.
don't discourage the Antelopes over there.
Yo, the seeds in women's basketball, I will say, is very devious.
There's not upsets in women's basketball.
I know.
There's not upsets.
Have fun with it. Yeah. But Taye's point, only usually 1, 2, 3 seeds usually make it into the Final Four, and it's gonna be a tall, tough task. But I think it'll be interesting watching the UCLA game if we get there. I think we might have a good shot.
Yeah, we could catch you.
It'd be a good game if we play UCLA.
I know.
Yeah. And I think, first off, I want to say that I think we kind of got snubbed a little bit being the 5 seed, because in women's basketball, if you're a top 4 seed, you actually get to host the first 2 rounds and play at your home court. So I thought that would have been awesome if that would have happened for us. I think they deserved it. But nonetheless, I think this is a really good team. Like you said, I really do think we'll blow by Ball State, no problem. Baylor could be a close game, but I really do feel like we'll win that game. But then UCLA is going to be really tough. I mean, it's possible. Just a few years ago when Ole Miss was an 8 seed, they upset number 1 Stanford. Yeah. So it is possible, but then again, there's just not very many upsets in women's basketball. So hopefully we could go on a run for a little bit, but expect a USC, UCLA, South Carolina, or one of those teams to win it all.
I was about to say, I have USC winning it all. So, I mean, they're just too good. Who do y'all have winning?
I actually have the Oklahoma women's basketball team winning it all. I think they go on a run this year. They're extremely well coached, and I think they pull it off. I think they shock the world.
Good SEC win.
They're a 3 seed, so it's in the right ends. The cards are in the making, and once again, probably the best coach SEC team, arguably. I got Oklahoma women's team.
I was gonna ask real quick, what USU you talking about? Like Trojans or like South Carolina? Like the real USC?
Like Trojans.
Like real USC with Juju Watkins and them?
Yeah.
I got them in the Final Four against UCLA, crosstown showdown. But
Wait, but who's winning?
awesome.
UCLA?
USC.
Oh, okay,
Juju
same.
Watkins,
Well, I guess we'll figure it out. Maybe we should. We're talking about making brackets, so we might have to. But, yeah. Anyways, when we get back from this break, we'll be talking about Ole Miss baseball. They're going through a tough few games recently. When we'll be back.
The dynamic freshman is starting to make his impact.
Dagger
with the shot clock down to 1.
That 3-ball drops for Jamin Brakefield. Fagan from the corner with a triple. Burrell for 3, and that's a big response. 3-ball, yes. Miss shooting lights out of the pavilion. And give him one more. Wow. Alley-oop. Well, you can't teach that. Well, that should give Ole Miss a boost.
NewsWatch is a student-run newscast that goes live every week, Monday through Thursday at 5 o'clock.
NewsWatch is more than just a college team. It is an immersive learning experience. You learn certain skills that help you in your future journalism career.
Rebelwatch is just a cool experience because like I want to do something in the sports world, so just to get the chance to do that on a platform like this, it's just a great opportunity.
We are the only live station in the Oxford-Lafayette area, with Tupelo being the closest. We cover all local news.
Welcome back. We're now going to be talking about Ole Miss baseball. Obviously, we're going through a rough patch right now. We just lost the series against Arkansas. We just lost against Southern Miss. I'm thinking, before we talk about those games, let's first talk about this upcoming weekend with Missouri. I think this is a must-win series because I think right now, with Arkansas's loss and Southern Miss, I think they're kind of down in the dumps right now. They need to get hot. They need to keep going. I think this one is a must-win, honestly, because it's away, it's SEC, and they need to prove themselves and to others that they're still here to play, they're still here to compete. I just think it's a must-win.
I wouldn't quite say must-win, but it's definitely like you got to get at least one.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if you don't win a lot at Mizzou, you may look back at the end of the season kind of towards tournament time and like, man, I wish we would have had that one or one of the ones against Arkansas. So I think as long as you get at least one, preferably either at the very beginning or at the very end, I think you're kind of chilling here. I don't think it's that serious. Like, me and Sawyer were having a conversation earlier about how it's pretty early in conference play.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm pretty dicey on that one.
I think it's a must-win mentally.
Okay, yeah, that's valid.
If it's like, if we're talking about records and like, actually like wins and losses, I'm like, okay, whatever.
You need to get back on track.
Yes. Mentally, I think they need to realize how good they are.
Yeah, I mean, they lost the last 3 games, but it's early. I mean, they're 2-2 against top 25 teams so far. So there's not really like a struggle. I think they're playing okay. They're playing all right. It is their first away game in SEC conference, so it'll be interesting to see how they do, how that fares out. But just pick up one, you'll be all right. Get going a little bit.
I actually disagree with y'all, and I agree with Campbell
100%.
Okay. This is a must-win series. Preferably, I hope we sweep, just because I'm telling you guys, Missouri is terrible at baseball. They're the worst team in the SEC, and they have been basically for the last 10 years. We know SEC is an elite baseball conference. Basically, every single team in the SEC has had a good year, makes the tournament most years in college baseball. Mizzou is that one team that they're just terrible every year. I honestly don't even remember the last time they made the tournament. So, yeah, I agree with you, Campbell. This is a must-win series, and I really hope we sweep, and I honestly think we do. I'm calling it now. We sweep them.
Okay, good. And I hope you're right, Walker. I really hope you're right. Going back to that Arkansas series, how are y'all feeling about the maybe mistakes that were made, especially on Sunday? Because Sunday was a rough game. I couldn't even watch, and no hate to them. But what were y'all seeing mistake-wise?
Man, like you start off so high. You go in first conference game. We got new pitchers. We got a new squad. We look different this year. We beat them. The number 3 team in the nation. Keep in mind.
Yep.
The second game. I expected Arkansas to get at least one. That third game, man, we had it. We had it. I mean, we're playing good. Up until the 4th, we're scoring. Arkansas didn't even get a run into the 4th. And then, we're trading momentum punches back and forth through that, specifically that 7th inning, that 8th inning. And the relief pitching was just horrible in this game. And to be honest, the whole series, we really had only about three to four reliable pitchers. Like, it was definitely unfortunate to see us kind of drop the ball on that one. And I know that's one we're going to probably look back on and be like, man, we should have won that one, because we had the game up until like the 8th, 9th inning. So it just disappointing. Just disappointing for sure.
I would say drop the ball on, no pun intended.
Yeah.
But I think just kick that one under the rug. We didn't play our best. Mistakes, errors, pitching wasn't the greatest, like you said. That's kind of a rough patch. Couldn't paint there. But I think just, bad series. Arkansas is good. It's the best team we've played all year. Little shock to us there. So I just think, wow, okay, let's reset. Let's go win at Mizzou. And let's just see how the rest of it goes.
I do think it gives me hope, though, the fact that we did look so good against the number 3 team in the nation. The fact that, we were able to first get that first one, and then Sunday, like you said, we pretty much had it, and then it kind of just fell apart. But at least it wasn't like a full-on blowout.
Yeah, I think it's just disappointing because we did win that first game and then put ourselves in a great position to win the rubber match, game 3. And you're right, we had the game. It was bottom or top of the 9th or whatever, and we were winning 9-8, 2 outs. We were 1 out away from winning the game, allowed them to tie the game on a base hit, and then they hit a 3-run home run, and the game was over after that. But then looking ahead, I think we will bounce back from this. I do think we're a good team, and that series loss won't matter as much because Arkansas is a very good team, one of the best teams in the SEC. So I'm just hoping we sweep Mizzou this week. I'm going to call it again. Sweep Mizzou this week.
I can't wait to talk about this, recap this weekend series.
Yeah, I really think it's going to happen. And even the Southern Miss loss, we beat them earlier in the season. This one, neutral site, that's not the worst loss. We know Southern Miss is a really good team. So let's just hope we can start playing a lot better, get some momentum this Mizzou series, and then I think we can compete in a lot of SEC series because we have a lot of opportunities, even at home. We have Florida at home coming up, Tennessee, Florida, or I already said Florida, but Vanderbilt. So hopefully we win one of those series, hopefully 2, and we'll be in great shape.
Yeah. I think so too. We're excited to talk about this recap weekend series next week, but when we get back from this break, we're going to be going back and talking about March Madness, the rest of the teams, our predictions, brackets, all of that. We'll be back.
Going to be a hot one out there for move-in weekend, Ole Miss. Good luck this year, Red.
You did it. You're home. I can't wait for you to discover the true meaning of Hotty Toddy. It's a cheer that connects us all to the red and blue. It's the moment that begins when you step on campus and continues long after you turn your tassel. I can't wait for you to discover your legacy and make the world a better place. Are you ready?
Hi, my name is Lars Roberts. I'm the director of the Student Media Center on the Ole Miss campus. We have a lot of vintage Ole Miss yearbooks available for you. If you're missing a yearbook from whenever you were a student on this great campus, or you know someone who was an alum, go to the Ole Miss Marketplace website and order a yearbook that you can either pick up at the Student Media Center or have delivered directly to you. If you need a yearbook from 2008 or 1988, we have it for you. Books are either $25 or $35 depending on the year that you want. Go to this link, choose your book, choose whether or not you want to have it delivered, and it'll be in your mailbox in a matter of days.
Everyone has a ritual, that small thing that keeps us focused. A habit we never skip to clear our minds and elevate our performance.
But what do you do to keep your head in the game, to drown out the self-doubt and support your mental health? Because being your best isn't just about taking care of your body.
It's about taking care of your mind and mental health. Discover the resources you need to keep your mind focused and your mental health a priority.
Welcome back. We're now switching back and talking about if not, this is my opinion, the best college sporting event.
Oh, 100%.
March
Yes.
Madness.
Oh, you're right.
You are right.
Okay,
You are right.
I wanted to make sure it wasn't a hot take for y'all, but I'm basketball, so probably thought it was. But March Madness, game winner, or winner of it all, Duke.
I'm with you. I like it. Yes, Campbell. Yo, Duke is definitely going to win. And I'll let you explain first. I'm not going to interrupt.
Well, I really don't have much explanation except the fact that they're just the best.
Yes.
In my opinion. The offense is dominant. The defense is dominant. I think, obviously, I've spent more time watching SEC. And I think that, you know, if an SEC team is going to go to the finals, it's going to be Auburn or Florida by far. I'm sorry, I think it will. But Duke's just better. They've always been better. They're a classic in March Madness. I honestly love it.
Duke does it. And I'm going to back you up here because, you know, you see Duke, you hear Cooper Flag. But they just play tremendous offensively and defensively, whether he's there or not. Now, when he's there, we're talking about them having a 91.4 defensive rating. That's NBA caliber defense, like elite NBA caliber defense.
I know.
And then when he's on the floor, you know, it's the same thing. Yeah. So they don't even need Cooper Flag to win games. And I think that UNC game showed. I just think they get it done this year. I think it's going to be a tall task nonetheless, but what he brings to this team on the defensive end, you know, I'm a defensive guy. He does a lot offensively, but what they can do defensively when Cooper Flag is on the floor, 6'9", 4, who can guard everybody.
Crazy.
They're going to make a run. They're Final Four lock.
Yeah, for sure. Walker, you have a little bit of a face.
Nah, no.
Who are you thinking?
Well, originally I would have said Auburn. That's what I've said most of the year. But they've been struggling a lot recently. Lost to A&M, Bama at home, then didn't even make it to the championship game of the SEC tournament and got beat by Tennessee. Oh, yes, I love it too. Yeah, that's awesome. But now I'm going to have to go with Florida. They have been playing amazing recently. They beat A&M at the end of the season, Bama, the best team, Ole Miss. Then they absolutely ran the best college basketball conference tournament, the SEC. We've talked about how great they've been this year.
With like ease, pretty much.
Yeah, exactly. And Duke played in the mid-ACC. So I'm telling you, this Florida team is good. They destroyed Mizzou, destroyed Bama, destroyed Tennessee. They're playing the best basketball they have all year going into the NCAA tournament. I would actually be very surprised if Florida does not at least make the Final Four, and they have a great shot at winning the national championship.
I think so too.
Thank you.
Someone's
actually cooking up right now. No, I would agree. They beat Bama twice in their last 5 games. Tennessee, Missouri, Mississippi State, and Auburn. They can't stop them right now. Run through the SEC tournament. I've made multiple brackets so far.
Okay.
And I've tried to get them to be upset. I've tried. No, I've tried. I've tried my hardest. I don't want to see them. I don't want to see them win. I don't. Because they keep beating us. But there's in no possibility does Florida not make the Final Four, if not make.
Well, yeah, I think that too. I just think that, like, you know, I love the SEC. But the SEC, like, I don't know, it's just something about, like, basketball schools like Duke and, like,
St. John's.
Because North Carolina's a basketball school, they have to
be. Rick Pitino. I don't want to doubt Rick Pitino.
Not like that. It's just like,
Duke
is good.
They're supposedly good. They have to be good. They have to win.
I don't even think Florida beat St. John's. I don't even think Florida beats Rick Pitino coached St. John's, who are playing amazing basketball.
That was crazy.
Yeah,
that's not. They're a 2 seed for a reason.
And Florida's a 1 for a reason.
Okay.
This is the year the SEC is going to get some respect, and I think this is going to start a great run for the conference too.
Okay.
I really hope they do, and I also think Tennessee is going to go far too.
Yeah.
I know they got absolutely destroyed by Florida, but I just see Chaz Lanier going at it in the tournament, and I also see Phillips doing it too. I see them going far. I don't see them going to the Final Four by any means.
I don't either.
Because, I mean, I think they're just a really great SEC team. But Florida's going to the Final Four.
Are we talking Cinderella teams? Can I say my Cinderella team?
Yeah, you got it. You better be quick, though.
VCU is going to make some noise. Yo, we know the history. We know the history with 11 seeds. 11 seeds always make a run. And I think VCU is that team this year.
So you got on your bracket?
Yes. They're playing their best basketball now. 9-1 in their last 10. They're 31 in net rank as an 11 seed, and they only allow opposing offenses to 62 points a game. Like, this is a team who can do very well. If they can actually hit their 3-point shots in the tournament, this is a team that's going to make a run in a region that I would call chicken. It's not that good. That's where you're going to see a lot of upsets at. VCU. Look out for VCU.
Okay, we will. Hot takes by Tay. Unfortunately, that's the only hot takes we can take because we have run out of time. But next week, we will get to talk about it. Don't even worry. Thank you so much for tuning in this week. Again, I'm your host, Campbell Holmes, alongside me, Sawyer Rovegno, TAYE Coleman, Walker Farmer. Please tune in next week, and we'll talk about our takes. Good night, everybody.